Hi yogis, welcome to Yoga with Mesa and welcome to your 30-minute full body yin class. We are going to get started in an easy seat, tall spine, hands on your thighs or at your sides, wherever is comfortable. And let's arrive on our space with a few deep grounding breaths. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill up with air, with love, with life. Open mouth, exhale, release your day. Beautiful breath. 2 more just like that. Inhale. Let it go. Final one, the biggest breath you've had all day, maybe even all year, right here. Sip in a little more air and let it go. Beautiful. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm in and out of the nose if your airway is open there. Notice the rise and fall of your chest with each round of breath. The expansion and contraction of your belly. And the air coming in and out of your nose. Cooler on the way in, warmer on the way out. Notice where you're holding tension. Relax your eyes, your jaw, your shoulders. Relax your heart while maintaining the length in your spine. Soften your belly and your hips. Feel the weight of your body on the support below you. If you would like to set an intention for your practice, you can choose anything that calls to you in this moment of something that you would like to invite in, on and off the mat. The intention I'm going to offer is, I allow myself to make mistakes and I forgive myself. A lot of times we feel like we're not allowed to make mistakes or that we are special when we make them. We all make mistakes. It's part of the process. It's part of the journey. It's how we learn. So if you would like to seal that intention into your practice, I allow myself to make mistakes and I forgive myself. This will invite a sense of patience and compassion into your being for you. Take a deep breath in, fill up with air. I allow myself to make mistakes and I forgive myself. Feel it in every cell in your body. And exhale to send it out to the universe. You have planted that seed. The universe will take care of it for you. Let's begin to move into our first pose. Our poses we will hold anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. So our first one, we're not going to move very far. Just guide your hands behind you. Option to keep the eyes closed if you'd like. Listen to my voice. Bring the bottoms of your feet to touch. Knees open up wide like a book. We're in our seated butterfly Baddha Konasana. You can stay here with a nice tall spine. Or if you'd like to explore more depth, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, melt your heart forward. Option to keep your spine active, or if it's okay on your neck, allow your upper body to hang heavy. In yin, we want to let gravity and our breath do the work. So we're not forcing the stretches or easing into them with time, with patience, and with our breath. With every inhale, see if you can become aware of the places you're holding tension. With every exhale, can you offer it release and soften? Each exhale guiding you deeper. And you've got 1 more minute here in your seated butterfly. And give yourself 1 more round of breath, a nice, slow, deep breath, all the way in and out to soften. Inhale, see if you can let your head be the very last thing to rise. Press into your fingertips, stack 1 vertebra at a time until you come all the way up. To transition to your next pose, simply extend your legs out long. Option to scoot some of that flesh out from underneath your tushy. That'll help you round forward a little easier. And again, you're welcome to stay with that beautiful tall spine. Or if you'd like to explore some depth, take a breath in, lengthen. And as you exhale, allow your heart to melt forward. Option to let your hands rest down at your sides, under your thighs, knees, calves, maybe even at your feet. And again, if it's okay on your neck, you can let that upper body hang heavy. Allowing time and gravity and patience to do the work. Stay with your breath. You've got about 1 more minute left. Three more breaths. Final breath in and out. And just like the last pose, allow your head to come up last. Walk your fingertips back as you stack your vertebrae. Place your hands behind you. We've got a couple of options here just to release the hips. You can A, press into your heels and your hands, squeeze your glute, lift your hips. Or B, come to your reverse tabletop. So you bend your knees, plant your feet. This one might be a little bit easier. Press into your hands, your feet, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Option to let your head hang heavy behind you. Couple rounds of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, release your hips down to the earth. Face the side of your mat. So you're facing the length of your mat. We're going to move into our twisted deer. And these poses will be a little bit longer, so it should really kick on that parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest system, which allows us to feel a little more calm and at ease within. Begin by taking your left shin and making it parallel with the length of your mat. Then your right shin is parallel with the width of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist to your left. Option to stay here. If this is plenty, that's perfectly fine. If you want to explore a little more depth, inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, walk your hands all the way forward, slowly easing your upper body down into the earth. And then allow your torso to just melt as it's invited. So it doesn't have to start all the way down. Maybe it's feeling a little tight on one side, maybe in that hip area. So you should be feeling that twist in the spine and also some hip stretch in your right side hip. If you have any props around you, it might be nice to place a pillow underneath your head, your chest. Remember, wherever you are is perfect and you're never stuck. If this isn't comfortable for you, you're welcome to skip it, ease out of it, make it less sensational, or find another pose. Inhaling, exhaling. You have about 1 more minute left. It's time for just about 6 more breaths. Where else can you soften? Where are you holding on that's ready to be let go? Breathe into that space of tension and exhale to offer it release. One more breath in and out. Ever so gently and lovingly walk your hands underneath you and press yourself up. And let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. So set your hands behind your hips. Scoot now your right shin is parallel with the length of your mat. Left shin parallel with the width of your mat. Bend, 90-degree bend in the knees. You're welcome to stay here, or if you want to invite a twist, breathe in, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist to your right. Ooh, that's a nice twist. Stay here or travel deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands forward, explore depth. We'll be here for 3 minutes. Allow yourself to get comfortable. You do not have to start off in the deepest version of this pose. I promise, after a few minutes, you will ease into it. Stay with your breath. You have 1 more minute here in this twisted deer. Inhaling to expand. Exhaling to soften. 3 more breaths. If you notice yourself getting tight and anxious in anticipation of moving to our next pose, see if you can replace that with relaxing, letting go, releasing the muscles. 1 more breath in and out. Ever so gently, bring your hands underneath you, press yourself up, and we'll face back towards the front of our mats. So come up onto the knees. And we're gonna just sit on the heels for a moment in a neutral place, just to let those last couple of poses sink in. A lot of times when we're working into the spine and the hips, some deeper sensations can arise. Just take note of how you feel. There's nowhere you need to be in this moment. There is nothing you need to accomplish. Just be present with your breath. Give yourself 1 more breath here in stillness. And let's move into our next pose. Come down onto your hands and knees. Inhale, extend your right leg long. Option to take some little circles out with your ankle. Scrunch your toes. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend your right knee and tuck it in, and then place it behind your right wrist. Then slide that left knee back. Pigeon pose. You're welcome to stay here with a tall spine or melt your heart forward once you get settled. We're looking for equal distribution of weight in the hips. If the pigeon pose is not accessible for you, I'll show you a different option. You can come down onto your spine, bend your knees, lift your right knee, and then place your right ankle over your left thigh, and then press your right hand into your right knee thigh area to help deepen the twist in your hip. Open the hip. Wherever you are, again, is perfect in its own. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. We'll be here for another couple of minutes. The stretch can have some deep sensation for many of us. If you start to feel those feelings arise, I invite you to breathe into them. Let them be. Always come out if you feel pinching, burning, or stinging. But if it is simply that deep sensation, what would happen if you stayed, if you breathed into it, and you offered it some love? One more minute. Two more breaths. Nice deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. If you melted forward, guide your hands back underneath you. If you're in that reclined figure 4, you're welcome to stay there. We're just going to switch to the other side. So in that pigeon, tuck your toes. Use them to help scooch that left knee forward if you'd like. And then slide your right knee back to meet your left. For just a breath, allow your arms to stay long. And then soften your hips towards the earth with an inhale. Roll your shoulders back. Open your heart, chin to the sky. If that's a little too much compression on your low spine, bend your elbows and come down a bit. One more breath in. Exhale, come back to your tabletop, hips over your knees. We'll take pigeon on the other side. Inhale, lift your left heel. Option 2, take some circles with that ankle. Maybe scrunch your toes. Breathe in, lift it up. Exhale, bend your left knee, tuck it in, and then set that left knee behind your left wrist, left foot aiming to be parallel with the length of your mat. It absolutely does not have to be. Just aiming in that direction. Slide your right knee back, untuck your right toes. If you're in that reclined figure 4, we're just doing that same stretch on the other side, placing your left ankle over your right thigh with a bend in your left knee. An option to take that left hand and push into the left knee to deepen your stretch. Two more minutes in your pigeon. Again, option to melt forward. You've entered your final minute. Stay with your breath, inhaling to expand, create space, and exhaling to soften and settle into that space you have just created. Two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Come up onto your hands, nice and gently. Tuck those right toes, use them to help shimmy that right knee forward. Then guide your left knee back to meet your right. Let's release the front of the hips, so press into your palms. Inhale, soften your hips towards your mat. Arms are extended or bent elbows to release the sensation out of your low spine. Breathe in, open up, shoulders roll back, chin rolls high. Exhale, hips over your knees. Keep those hips stacked over your knees for this pose. As you inhale, walk your hands towards the top of your mat. Melt your heart forward. So we're really working into the heart space here, the chest, and getting a beautiful shoulder stretch. Also, beautiful decompression in your spine here in our puppy pose. With each inhale, become aware of the tension in your hips, the space in your hips, where the spine connects with your hips. And with each exhale, see if you can allow your spine to soften away from your hips a little bit more. Also allow your shoulders and your heart to soften. Take a deep breath in and exhale to settle in. Give yourself 3 more rounds of breath. Soften where you can. Invite release into your body. One more inhale all the way in and out to relax. Inhale, gently gaze forward, press into your palms, and walk your hands back next to you. So we're coming up onto the shins. Our next and final pose will be our toe stretch. This can be a very intense pose for many of us, so I invite you to ease into it slowly and take it at your own pace. So begin by shifting your weight all the way forward, tucking your toes underneath you, and our pinky toes really try to escape. So make sure you reach back, tuck them under, and then this is the stretch. This is plenty if you're really feeling it deep in the feet. If you want to invite a little more sensation in, you can start to walk your hands back. This will be a 1-minute hold, so not quite as long. Whatever comes up for you, can you breathe into that space? We don't give our feet a lot of the love they deserve. We're always wearing those shoes or kind of neglecting them, which is why this may show up very intense for a lot of us. Breathe into it. Stay with your breath. We're all in the same space here, probably feeling similar sensations, similar depth. I hear you. Breathe into it. A couple more breaths. You've got this. Hang in there. Remember, you can always come out. One more breath in. Exhale, gently release. Fold that body forward. Untuck your toes. Squint your toes a little. Maybe give them some little taps out on your mat. Shake them out. And yes, guess what? That was our final pose. So when you're ready, shift onto your hip bones and travel down onto your back, or any final resting pose you'd like. If you want to rest on your belly, rest on your belly. Your side in your fetal pose, you can do that. Let your arms go long, let your legs go long. Option to bring one hand to your heart and one to your belly. Take a deep breath in and exhale to surrender. And I'm going to leave you here in your shavasana, my friends, just in case you want to rest a while. Since this is only a 30-minute video, I want you to have time to rest. If that's what your body is asking for, give yourself permission to rest as long as you like. I promise your body will let you know when it's time for you to awaken. Until then, I love you. Namaste.